Hello everyone, I am Keziah Domocol and welcome to my reaction video about electronic and electrical devices.
É na moral, pego todo loot do seu quintal. Quando eu passo, ela paga pau. Dois chavezinho de calça angelical, da hora legal. É na moral, pego todo loot.
So what is electronic device? The device which control the flow of electrons for performing a particular task. Such type of devices is known as the electronic devices. The word electronic components are mainly classified into two types. There are active components and the passive components. The component which delivers energy is known as the active component, and the devices which receive energy is known as the passive component. The electronic have three main active components and the two are passive components. The resistor, capacitor, and the inductor are the name of the active components, while the tube devices and semiconductors are the passive components of the electronic devices. The resistor opposes the flow of current and the capacitor stores the electrical energy. The inductor produces the inductances. The tube devices and the semiconductor are the platforms used for the movement of electrons. When the electric field applied across the tube and the semiconductor, the electrons are energized and start accelerating. For example, the transistor is an electronic device used to amplifying the weak signal. The diode converts the light energy into the electrical energy. So what is electrical device? The device which convert the current into the forms of energy of work or work. Such type of device is known as the electrical device. It uses the metal for conduction. The electrical devices mainly work on the high alternating current. The power consumption of the electrical devices is also very high. The electrical devices are more dangerous and less reliable because it causes the hazardous electrical shock. The size of the electrical devices is very large and hence it requires more space. Example, the fan is an electrical device which converts the electrical current in the form of rotational motions. The electric bulb, lamp, tube light converts the current into the light. The heater converts the current into the heat or etc. The difference between electronics and electrical devices. The electrical devices changes the current into another form of energy like heat, light, and etc., whereas the electronic device controls the movement of electrons for performing the operation. The electrical devices uses copper aluminum wires for the flow of electric current, whereas the electronic devices use the semiconductor material. The electrical devices work on a high voltage, whereas the electronic devices work on the low voltages. The electrical devices mainly work on alternating current, whereas the electronic devices works on the direct current. The power consumption of electrical devices is more as compared of the electronic devices. The conductivity of electrical devices is high, whereas it is low for electronic devices. Electrical devices do not manipulate the data, whereas the electronic devices manipulate the data. The electrical device directly works on the current, due to which it gives the quick response. The electrons are the only moving charge of the electronic device and hence the response time is less. The electrical device is heavy and larger in size and hence requires more space, whereas the electronic components are very smaller and placed on a single chip, or we can say it requires very less space. The electrical device is more dangerous as compared to the electronic device because in electric device, heavy short circuit occurs because of the fault, which is very dangerous in life. The fan, transformer, motor, generator are the examples of electrical devices, whereas the transistor, thyristor, microcontroller are the examples of electronic devices. The similarities of electronic and electrical devices. The electrical and electronic devices both depend on the flow of electrons for performing the operation. Both the devices use the transformer for transmitting the voltage. The electrical devices use both instrument and power transformer, and the electrical devices only use the instrument transformer. So that would be all. I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching!
É na moral, pego todo o loot do seu quintal. Quando eu passo, ela paga pau. Deixa vizinho de calça angelical, da hora